Good morning. Welcome to Options Tender. It is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to do a intraday video. We're getting really close to a reversal. We're forming a top. Can we get one more little high? It's possible. Can we be done here? I think that's more likely. I have a few things to show you today. I'm not going to go through the divergences. I wanted to do that over the weekend, but didn't get a chance to do that. It's just the same old thing. We're negative divergence, and all multiple time frames. So today I just wanted to go through SPY, QQQ, and a daily, and then go around the horn on the 65-minute chart, including the VIX, which is very important. We're going to check back on Baidu, because I think the money flow is going to start going into China stocks and coming out of US stocks. And we're going to check out, that might be it. I think that's it. If I figure something else out, I'll go through it. But IWM's a pretty important one today. So that's what we were waiting for to top. And we're getting some relative strength in IWM, and I think we're at the breaking point. Okay, so let's jump into it. If you're new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Options Center logo, and subscribe. If this information helps you, don't forget to hit the like button. You've been so supportive. Thank you, everybody. All right, SPY on the daily time frame, we have this large bearish rising wedge. We came into confluence. We talked about that over the weekend. We have an evening star reversal. We're starting to get some follow through yesterday, and we're kind of holding at the lows today. And I think we're in a holding pattern going into GDP tomorrow and the PCE inflation indicator on Thursday. So I think we're kind of in a holding pattern, at least till tomorrow morning. Can we continue to head lower? Sure. Our first really short-term spot here is the 8 EMA and also these former highs. That's our breakout highs. I think that we're going to retest at minimum. Okay, going into these next couple days. But if some sort of catalyst brings it upon us, I do think we'll get a really large move coming into the following end of the week or into next week. Now, I'll reiterate what we're looking at in Elliott wave terms, and our pattern, our ending expanding diagonal, okay, for a major top. Three-way move up for 1, 2, an expanding 3, getting larger on the 4, and really pushing the momentum on wave 5. We're touching the top of that wedge, and we're starting to get a reaction now. So let's see what the catalysts do at this point. Going to QQQ, and we'll revisit these on the 65. Again, just kind of in a holding pattern, but the thing is, I just wanted to show you with the Qs is from the bottom here, we have our trend line touches, fake breakdown, and then we're back underneath. So we're testing back underneath the trend line. And so that shows us a little sign of weakening there. That's it. That's all I want to show you with the Qs. And then really, I want to jump down to the 65-minute for the other indices. And we'll check out IWM and VIX on there just to show you in the short term what's going on. So let's go down the 65-minute. We have our wedge here. I know it's a busy chart. We also have a channel. We have all this confluence right here at this point. We're rejecting off of it. And this is possibly, now, this very well, in my opinion, is an ABC. But this very well could be a 1, 2, 3. We're pulling back for 4. And we get one more move to the upside. That is the possibility that we can't help. But notice I'm not going to put any hedges on this or very few. more or less, I'll just add on to long-term swings if we do get a new high here into these levels up here at 510, 511. But right now we're in all in our swings to the downside. Oh, we're going to check out Bitcoin. We're going to check out Bitcoin at the end of this video as well. All right. So going to the Elliott wave, we have our time. We had our top in our time pattern that we were talking about over the weekend. Time and price right at this 127 extension. You can go back and I'll put the video up so you can check it out. But I want to that video will show you why we were picking out this top in this area here. All right, so we're getting rejection. We're just kind of holding this 505 area. Qs. The triple Qs. It's a closer view of what we're looking at. That's the major uptrend line here, or underneath it, just kind of in a holding pattern. And again, it looks like it's some sort of flag, but that could be looked at in two different ways. This could be an initial impulse, and then we're flagging, waiting to go to the downside, a 1, 2, and then 3. Or from the bullish point of view, have our move up and we're consolidating sideways for another move to the upside. Will that move get very far? I'm not so sure, but we could put a little line up there. Maybe it goes and touches one more slight high at that point. Not much else to look at. I do think we're going to start closing this gap that, to me, I'm looking at this as an exhaustion gap. This is just not a typical gap at the end of towards the end of a move. Well, and so you say, well, this isn't the end. This is the beginning of a move. Fair enough. If you think so. We'll have to see. And I think IWM will tell us a lot about that. We're looking at another time factor coming here on the 29th. I believe that's Thursday. So we'll be looking at that as well. But again, not a whole lot to update on that one. What all the price action is happening on IWM. IWM's the important one here. Okay, so we're at this point. We have this pivot downtrend line because we have 3 touches on it now. We're just above it. Okay, so we're looking at this. We're just above it, but we had that fake break above it before. If we adjusted that trend line to this top here, we'd just be back testing that. So we're in this supply zone, but I think if we really hold above on the daily time frame above this downtrend, and then we can have another trend line touch this one, but really it should complete. If we get a new high above here at this 205, that's going to say a whole lot. Maybe I should have shown the daily time frame. You see this? It's a big supply area. We're above it. We're getting above it. We have this bear flag type pattern. Yeah, you can adjust it so we're at the top of the bear flag. That's not the point. It's kind of a zone. We're touching the top here. It's a big area. And I think we're going to reject off here. But if we continue to move up, especially with the catalyst, with some momentum, we start to move, then guess what? We're going to go long IWM. And I think something else is happening in the entire market. And IWM is going to play a really big catch up. So we have this, the big correction here. We have this. If IWM continues to push and starts accelerating, especially past this high here, 205, we're looking at this as being all of this move being an A, where this is the low, and we're looking at this being an A, B, and then C correction for a larger B, and then we start heading lower. But if this starts gaining momentum, we have to account a 5-wave move up here, whether it's an ending diagonal or an impulse. I think it'll be more of an impulse, and it'll be pretty relentless on this move. And I think we'll be looking for not quite this 112. If we really start breaking out of this zone here, this channel that we've been for so long, I think we'll have the plenty of momentum to start heading up to the 786, or even maybe even a little higher, where this A would equal C measurement. So if you take the whole length of A and the bottom of B here, our target would be about the 230 area. Okay, so that would be our zone if we start getting really strong in IWM. I think we're going to reject today. I think overnight we're looking at some sort of probably abandoned baby move where we have the gap up and then gap down. So we'll see. But that's what we're really looking on with IWM to see if there's some momentum in the small stocks. The small cap stocks can really take off and hold up and lift the market. Okay, but here is an example of why I have my doubts. So we'll have to keep an eye on the VIX. The VIX is now at support, but there is one more support underneath if it needs to. We have kind of this megaphone shape here. So if we continue to use that megaphone support, then we do have room, and that's right at that 13 area. This would suggest we're starting to wedge to the downside. We're right at gap support. This gap doesn't have to be filled. We don't have to fill that gap, especially if we're gaining momentum. Higher highs and higher lows. That's what we're doing. So hold the support, break out from the wedge, you're going to get a move to the downside of the market. Complete opposite. We start filling the gap. We get down to this next support area, and that would suggest that we had one more high in the SPY that I was talking about. We get to this 13. That's another objective long in the VIX and short on the market. So I'll be looking forward to either one. It doesn't matter to me. We break out from here. We play this, play it strong. We get one more low and one more high in the market. We're going to short the market once again. So we got our move down. We're testing. We talked about the video. If we got underneath this low on the weekend, that would be the next target would be this gap. We got to the gap. We're showing a little bit of support here, a little reversal doji potential. We'll have to keep an eye on that, okay? Now, two more things. Baidu, China stocks are really, and please check out the video from the other day. This is really important. Baidu has earnings tomorrow, so I don't suggest gambling into it tomorrow. I'm still long on it. I rolled out some positions, took some profit, but we're coming into earnings tomorrow morning, so careful with that. Super important. But in the long term, if we go back to the daily time frame, we can check out Baidu here. And really quick, we have this initial move. I think this is the major low here. And Baidu also have the same thing in Baba. And I'm sure it looks the same way in many China stocks here. So we have our impulse move up here, and then a nice retracement back to the 618. And you can look at all that in the last video. Again, I'll post that in the weekend video. So we're long Baidu. And then last but not least, I want to show Bitcoin. Bitcoin just so happens, here's our traditional technical analysis. We're not quite to the top. If we use this high here without the wicks, then we're right at the channel top. Okay, which makes a lot of sense, but if we can raise it a little bit just in case price goes up a little bit more. Okay, that could happen overnight. Anything could happen. So sorry, my lines, don't, if you're looking at all these, they're all adjusted because they're all out of whack because I took all the gaps out of the futures contracts for the rolls. So let's go back to the Elliott wave picture. We had a nice rejection here. That was a possible wave 5 for the inning, but after we had that surge, this 5-wave move up here, made new highs, it was clear that we're going to the next level. That's the 786 here, and we're at channel resistance, and we're at the fib resistance. I do believe this is the top for Bitcoin. Likely here, probable here. I think this is. We saw a little bit of rejection. We're kind of holding, again, at that holding style pattern right here at resistance. 5-wave move up for 1, 2, or excuse me, A, B, and then a 5-wave move up for C. I think this is a zigzag for wave B, and we continue much lower in a wave C. All right, and that's not good for Bitcoin. So anyway, if we continue to if we get over this 57,466, I know that we're slightly over right now, with daily candles, with consolidation, then we go higher, possibly the 8 and maybe even new highs. But this is a really good point. And the whole point of trading is taking an objective spot. So I'm short Bitcoin. I'm actually using BITO, BITO, the ETF, short Bitcoin right now. And I know that I'm wrong if it continues to move up past this, but I know to get out at that point. So it doesn't matter if you're bull or bear. This is an objective point for a bull or bear to at least short term, because I'm a short term swing trader, to take a risk reward on this put here. But I do think this is the end of this entire move down here. This is a large A, B, and C goes much further down. All right. I'll do a much more comprehensive video on Bitcoin throughout the next few days, and I'll spend a lot more time on it and the big picture so you can see what I'm looking at. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. To this shorter video today. I hope you liked it. If it helps, like it. Talk to you soon.